All right. You want to start this off, Jason?
Yo, welcome to Hero Ride. We got my boy Scotty on here today, as promised, from Stress Fracture. What's going on, brother?
Not much, guys. Excited to be here, man.
Hell yeah. Excited to have you. So we kind of just got some shit we threw together. We like start like maybe from the beginning and shit, and just kind of we'll bullshit around a little bit or whatever. But then we'll just, I don't know. This isn't any fucking, dude, we're DIY as fuck. You saw
the jerk off on camera all at the same time. So
yeah. It might be a little distracting, huh?
Right. Virtual circle jerk right at the end there for everybody.
So the first thing is what was like some bands, or where'd you start? Like, how'd you start getting into heavy shit, or like hardcore, or just heavy music, or in general?
So like I was telling y'all earlier, I'm from Reedy, Spencer, West Virginia, pretty rural town. So like growing up, it was always like country, I didn't get exposed so much, but like I remember having like Guns N' Roses and shit, and like Bon Jovi and stuff. Like that was what was like heavy, to me. And then I remember being like 13, 14 years old and hearing like some Avenged Sevenfold for the first time. And that's why I was like, all right, like this is like what I want to listen to, blah, blah, blah. Not really hard or anything like that. But then around like, I would say 2019, like right before COVID hit, or like right whenever it hit, started listening. I was into like new metal, man. So I was into like Korn and like Mudvayne and Slipknot and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And I got put on this band called Nothing Face, and I was like real big into them. And then like through the suggestion of them, I got put onto a band called Sanction. It was like a Long Island hardcore band. Pretty fucking heavy. I didn't know what hardcore was though. So I'm listening to this shit. I'm like, oh dude, like this is badass. Like this is just some like heavy ass metal. I didn't even know what it was. And through that, I go down the rabbit hole of just like some New York hardcore shit. And then I was like, yeah, like fuck the metal, fuck the Avenged Sevenfold. This is where it's at. Like, if people aren't hurting each other to the music, I don't fucking want it, man.
Yeah. Fuck the push pit, man.
Exactly.
Running in a circle.
But now we got on the hardcore, like definitely later for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy though, because like the shit you're listening to in like 2019 is what I was listening to in like 1999. Like the fucking new metal shit,
right?
But yeah, man.
We got Jason's pulling hipster status on you. Like I was cool before you.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Like I'm always envious.
New metal before new metal was cool.
Yeah, I'm always envious. I like went to Ozfest and shit, man.
No, funny story. I was telling them, my bandmates earlier. It was wild, man, because they used to have this thing called X Fest down in Huntington, and it was just like a big like butt rock fest, basically. But me and my buddy Nate, we just got bored one time, and we went down there, and like he boosted me up over the flood wall. It was like something you'd see on a movie. He got me up on the flood wall, and then I got him up over, and we just got in, and we got down, and it like we started walking a little ways, and the security guy was there. Like you could tell he was just like whatever, and he was like, "I didn't see nothing, man. I appreciate your effort or whatever." And the funny thing was, it was before like I really like, Typo Negative now like kind of made a comeback. Like everybody's like into Typo Negative now, but there for a while nobody really gave a shit. Everyone loved them. Nobody gave a fuck. Peter Steele died, and then everyone loved him again. But we we got in there, and Typo Negative was the headlining band. So my girlfriend fucking hates me for this. I snuck in a show and got to see Typo Negative for free.
That's wicked.
She's never got to see him, and they're like her favorite band. But
that's wicked, dude. A lot of people never got to see them.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing music, like professionally? Or like how long have you been bands playing shows?
Stress Fracture is actually my first band. I've been like doing the screaming and stuff probably since like
you're a baby
2021 I would say, but like I didn't take it serious until I got into Stress Fracture.
So were they already a band?
My first song and all that shit, you know what I mean?
Were they already like doing shit, or did you guys kind of all like get together?
Yeah,
like how'd you guys meet? I know it's like a very like cliche thing to ask. I mean, like how'd you guys like become Stress Fracture?
Yeah, no, that's a good question because we all are like very fucking far apart. Like, actually, I didn't know any of them guys. I just saw this band on my Instagram. It was called Blackwater, and I didn't really listen to their music or anything like that. I just noticed there was a few guys, guitars, bass, drums, but they didn't have a vocalist. I was like, well, that was to the point I really want to start a band. I was just really inspired by some of the shit I was listening to at the time. And I was about to just go like solo and just play scream behind backing tracks and shit, you know, just to get myself out there, which I'm so glad I didn't do that, like thinking back on it. But
like Jason Christ 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I just hit him up on Instagram. I was like, yo, you guys need a vocalist? And they're like, yeah, what do you do? And I was like, well, I want to do like screaming, like some hardcore type stuff. And they were doing kind of like you guys heard of a band called like Chon? It's kind of like some
like the techie type kind of shit.
Yeah. They were kind of like on some like that type of tip, that type of wave. I feel like. I don't know. I'm speaking for them, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't there for it, but it wasn't heavy, you know what I mean? It was just kind of more experimental. And now they sent me a demo, like, because I'd never been. They're from Elkview. Well, my drummer, where I met them at. Before we ever met, they sent me this demo, and I was like, all right, you know, I can write to that, whatever. My first song I ever actually wrote too. By the way, I mean, like, I guess when I was younger, I wrote like some stupid shit, probably like some rap shit, honestly.
About girls.
My first song I wrote, and then I had a fucking Android. I don't have a laptop or nothing. So I'm at my buddy's house on speakers, just screaming over to this demo over a Bluetooth fucking rip. My buddy filming me, and I send it to him. And they're like, "Yeah, come out for practice." So like,
that's fucking badass. I didn't know that.
But you like, you just like kind of forced yourself into an audition.
Yeah,
You're like, hey,
I was basically
I'm gonna be your singer whether you fucking like it or not.
That's
basically what it was. And I think really, at first they were kind of reluctant. They're a little bit older than me, so I think they were kind of like, not by much, you know, just a couple of years. They're like, yeah, who the fuck is this little guy, you know? And that shit, and they're like, all right, you know, come up here, we'll give you a try.
Yeah, I had no idea that was the backstory of you and Stress Fracture. That like around here, most people know each other beforehand before starting a band or whatever. So that's wild that you fucking kind of willed yourself into just being like, hey guys, I want to sing for you. And
like I said, man, I was desperate. I didn't even know if they were good music. I didn't know what a good musician was, man. I was just like, fuck it, I want to play some dumbass hardcore, and like that's what it was.
Hell yeah. So speaking of like that whole thing, like them writing and stuff before you joined the band, like how do you guys go about like writing? Because I mean, I remember you saying like you didn't have, because like what I do, man, I'll write a riff, or usually I'll just like fucking put most of a song together, and then I'll just listen to it over and over and over and over until I get something cool for vocals like in my head, and then I'll record a demo, send it to them, see if they like it. If they like it, we keep it. If not, like they want to change some shit, we change some shit. But how do you guys usually come up with stuff?
Our drummer Jacob, he's like I don't want to say he's stress fracture, but like he's like definitely the brains like that gets the shit going. So like he structures everything. And Alex and Nick, our guitarists, they're fucking really good guitarists. They create like really awesome riffs. Jacob's kind of the guy, he puts everything together and he kind of finds like what sounds good with it. Jacob plays off feel. That's like a big thing for him. Like, I don't know. It's interesting how he approaches it whenever like they're fleshing out shit. And I mean, I've been in the room for it, and they've all been buddies for a while, been jamming together for a while. So for them, it's kind of like natural. But me, like being a part of that shit, it was kind of weird because, like I said, I'd never been in bands before or anything, and they're all just like doing all this shit, and I'm like, wait, like this is actually coming together and sounds good, and like they're not even saying anything, they're just looking at each other and making faces. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? But nah, Jacob, he's good with like Studio One and shit too, so he'll like record everything. But yeah, no, they'll get some guitar shit going down, and he just kind of structures all of his drums to it, and I can do it to like pretty rough demo, but yeah, they just kind of send me like their shit once they got it all pieced together.
You guys do more like organically, like you guys all get in a room and write together, like come up with shit together.
Yeah, they definitely do for the music part, not for the lyrics so much. I'm kind of like the brains on that part, but there's definitely some input. But it's kind of like they just send me the demo, and like I said, I don't have a way to record, but I kind of write to it, and then next practice I present it, and if we like it, we fucking start hammering forward. If not, we kind of restructure things. But no, it's been pretty cool to like, because that was like a hidden, I don't want to say talent, but that was like a hidden thing I'd never done before. I never wrote songs or anything, so it was kind of cool, like whenever we were doing the EP, especially like how naturally everything came together. I was like, wow, like you don't really have to like second guess shit too much, because a lot of times like what you first think is like it's literally
it's hardcore, man. It's hardcore.
That's the one to deal with. How we started organically all writing in the same room, and we all would write lyrics and everything together, and that's just how we started. But in today's modern age, we'll send demos back and forth. Like Tyler will send me a riff and I'll write to that, or him and Austin will come up with something, or Austin will write a riff and I'll come up with something to that, or they'll have some lyrics and I'll finish them. So we're more sporadic with all of it, but I think we've written songs of just about every way you can.
Right. So, I wish I was more like that. I wish I had like a computer and had access to like be able to record myself and shit.
It makes it real easy. Yeah.
I'm just not savvy with it, and which sounds fucking stupid because I'm fucking 25, and what I mean, like I should know this shit, but I honestly don't know how to work like interfaces or anything like that. So I'm just kind of like going in there and just screaming down. And Jacob, we're doing takes, and it's like he probably gets pissed at me, bro, because we're like, I want to get the scream perfect, and like we're cutting, doing more, and that shit gets tedious, man.
We just have ideas and like not know how to. Like you don't play guitar.
Articulating.
You just like go up to me like, play this riff.
Dude, because I don't play guitar either. I had to learn like a little bit of keyboards and like notes, so I could be like, kind of be able to be like, hey, maybe something like that, and learn stuff about like music aspects. But I would have dreams about fucking riffs, and I would like come to him the next day and it goes la da da la da da, and it like made no fucking sense. Like, just do that, dude.
Yeah, just do what it sounds like.
Like, even like the intro to this podcast, man. Like, I get ideas in my head at work, and I'm like, all right, dude, I'm not near a fucking computer or a guitar or anything. So I go to the bathroom and pull up voice recorder and just like say the riff into my phone so I'll remember it later.
Really?
Because I won't remember it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I have such a bad memory that like I've done that with melodies before where I'm like, okay, like this will kind of fit. And like it's not even words, but I'll just kind of be like, like blowing guitar, like my fucking voice.
Yeah. So who would you say, this is like completely fucking off of what we were just talking about, but it's just kind of into another thing. I didn't have any way to really dip us in there smoothly.
Got it, man.
But who do you think the top 5 biggest influences you guys when you guys are writing? Who do you guys like? Be like, man, you know, let's write something like this style. Like, because I mean, I've seen you guys a bunch, and I don't really think y'all sound like anybody. You know what I mean? Like in particular, like I don't like a lot of bands. You know that you can tell they listen to certain shit or they're ripping off certain shit. But what do you guys usually? Who do you guys listen to?
I appreciate you saying that. First of all, we try to be a little bit unique. I can't really speak for them too much. I mean, I know they like when we were writing the EP, they were really into, our guitarist and our drummer was really into that new I Am album. What is it?
Okay, yeah. You
know the band I Am, but they I remember what it is, but good shit. And they really liked Code Orange. They weren't so much into hardcore, you know what I mean? I kind of like, not want to say I showed it to them, but I showed them like the newer shit and kind of like what it sounds like now, you know what I mean?
What's coming out now?
Right. But not for me, honestly. I mean, like lyrically and like what I try to sound like. I mean, I guess like Sanction, like I said, I was really inspired by them. And like Nothing Face, I mean, that's the whole reason why I'm even like screaming is like just listening to that shit and just practicing to it. And I was like, hey, you know, like I'm doing this pretty good. Like I can fucking do this with a band. But nah, yeah, those are definitely my sound for me anyway. Inspirations, I would say, is like Sanction and Nothing Face. And our guitarists, they're big death metal because they're in Crown Vic now. I don't know if you guys caught on to that, but yeah, they're big death metal guys. And I think like sometimes that does come through in the stress fracture stuff, but I like it because I think sometimes it doesn't, and it's kind of a good contrast between like heavier, like beat down hardcore and more like straight hardcore. Like Gale Storm's kind of like a more like straightforward hardcore sound as compared to like some of our other ones. So yeah, it definitely makes it interesting because it's like we're all from different worlds, like musically and like different shit, and I think it kind of helps.
That's
whenever it does. It definitely helps. Mm-hmm. Like, is there anything like off the wall that would inspire you lyrically or anything like that people might be surprised about? Something that's not hard or heavier.
Yeah. Honestly, I was into. I don't know if this came through on my writing or anything, but I was listening to a lot of John R. Miller. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's like a folky, like country artist. He's from here. He's from somewhere in West Virginia. I was listening to a lot of John R. Miller, and it's kind of cool in them folky songs because, like, a lot of times he's not even singing, man. He's just talking, and it just sounds so badass behind the instrumental, and he just sounds like he's so full of wisdom. But no, I'd say that, and probably a little bit of rap. I'm always listening to rap and shit too. I don't think it comes through on the lyrics, but on the flowing part, you know, I try to like.
And that, man. When I used to just write lyrics without any like music to it, it would always come off as like rapping because I listen to a lot of rap too, which I think people would be surprised about. But that's how I flow in my head, even though it comes out completely different on how I like the melody.
I mean, it's literally the same thing, dude. You're coming up with syllables and patterns. Yeah, you don't like. You're not singing. You're making like almost like percussive, like like you're coming up with.
It has to make some type of like rhythmic sense in your mind to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's really a lot of similarities between like rapping and like the hardcore shit. Really,
there's a lot of.
I always say, fucking the white boy hardcore shit is just the guys who didn't want to rap. Didn't want to be a SoundCloud rapper anymore,
or weren't good at it. What has been your worst show so far,
Jake? Brother, you got to be a little smoother than that. You can't let them know you're reading it. What has been?
He's leaning over.
the like light keeps on coming off, so I have to tap in my code, fucking turn it back on.
He's like anchor man or something, reading off a
fucking Bob Burgundy.
He's on the teleprompt. Yeah.
And, he'll read anything on the teleprompt.
Oh no, man, I'm always real hard on myself. So I mean, like the worst show for me and the worst show for the band, I guess, would probably be two different things.
It's easy to be harder on yourself, I think, as a
singer.
A lot of eyes are on you and stuff.
And that's the thing. Anytime I think we have a bad show, I never am like, oh, like it's because of the band sounds like shit. It's always like, oh, man, I butchered that part.
Yeah,
we played. Let's see. I think it was in Beckley. It was this festival. It was actually our second show ever. It's called Hidden Valley Festival.
Ranch dressing?
Yeah, literally like that. Is that like this Hidden Valley racetrack over there? It was cool. There was like fucking dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and shit going across while we're fucking.
Was it hidden?
Playing. Yeah, it was pretty hidden, man. It was pretty hidden. It was hot as hell. It was in the middle of summer. We played kind of midday, like right in the dead of the heat. I just remember was already sweating my balls off before I went up there. I get pretty sweaty on stage anyway, but I just remember not sounding very well, and the sun was right in my eyes, and then also my sweat was in my eyes. I just remember I was blinking the entire time, and I kept doing this entire set.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to like throw a hat on, but I didn't have one with me. But yeah, because I just looked retarded like the whole entire time. I'm sitting there like this, like
yeah.
Dude, you were at that Kaonashi show. He played like that outside, man. And I was telling my dudes like the other day, I was like, honestly, for me anyway, the show was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was awesome. It was cool. But for me, I feel like that's the worst show I played because like the whole time, like I'm hot. Got sweat in my fucking eyes. Can't hear myself. Can't hear my band because we're out in like between two hills outside.
Yeah.
And then like my internal temperature is so hot. I got to take a drink of water, and it does this weird shit where it wants to come back up. So I'm trying to do vocals and fight off throwing up at the same time.
Yeah. That's just it happens all the time.
I remember that show vividly, and honestly, man, even if you thought that was a bad performance, I like all three bands killed it, but I thought Ghost Home was definitely the most intimidating, scary, what I call scary bands. I like the scary hardcore bands, you know what I mean? That's definitely, you ran with it that night. The other
I tried to play it off.
They're like that fun hardcore. Yeah, right.
There's also there's this feeling sometimes, I don't know if you guys get it, where like you'll be mid-show like giving it your all, like fucking going hard, and no one's like, you can't see, no one's moving, everybody's just standing there staring at you. And part of me gets deflated like eternally, like what the fuck am I doing wrong here? And then another part of me gets like pissed about it, and that's usually when I start talking shit.
Yeah, you gotta use it as fuel.
Yeah, because if you linger in the like deflation or like the like feeling of like I'm fucking something up or whatever, it'll fuck up the whole rest of the show.
I think they'll pick up on that whenever you're freaking out like that.
100% they do, because I can feel it in other people, like when it's happening to them. I can see it happen,
dude. And like you can feel it watching them. You're like, oh man. You're like,
it feels bad because it's like, oh, that's happened to me before. It's like real bad. But who is your favorite band to play with?
Be careful with this, somebody.
You got two bands right here.
Right. Shit,
better pick agency.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we were gonna give you so much fucking shit, man, for leaving the show. Dude. And calling out every band except Nuclear Future.
Yeah, I, like my initial thought was like, oh, we're gonna have like a rivalry or something like that as a joke.
We're beefing. We're beefing
hard. But then I was like, there's like 11. And I didn't even
man, I felt really bad about not seeing the new Ghost, like your new bassist and everything. That's why I had to personally walk up to all y'all and be like, yo, I'm sorry. I told everybody in Ghost Town, even Casey. I walked up to him. I was like, yo, dude, I was super excited to see you tonight. Sorry, I got fucking dip.
No, I did that shit today, man, because I had shit to do, and then I had to come on here and everything, and like, you know, the dude that actually put this show together, Nemo, was about to play, and like, you know, my girlfriends wanted to come home, and I had to get ready and do this, and I had to go do some shit, go to my daughter's mom's house and fix their AC. I just had a bunch of shit to do today, and like I only get 2 days off a week, so I tried to stay as long as I could, and then I was just like, all right, man, I have to go now, or I'm not going to get any of the shit done that I need to do today. So it happens. I just wanted to give you a shit.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I always feel guilty about that. Like whenever I can't, like, dude, I didn't even get to see my own guitar players in my band. I didn't even get to see them in Crown Vic, man. It shit killed me, dude.
Part of me thought that's why you left. You're like, fuck these guys, man.
Yeah, I
fucking double top and have them.
Oh shit! No, there's nothing but love there. Like I said, we're super happy for them for that. Like that's a sweet gig because we've all. I mean, for me personally, like you guys, Ghost Home and Crown Vic are the first like local bands I'd ever saw, and like that, like definitely inspired me to like fucking do what I'm doing right now. And like so it's cool that like now the fucking people I'm in a band with are now playing with them.
Yeah, that's sick.
Small world, small scene. We do have a small scene, but like sometimes you feel like people are gonna have like this big shot attitude, like this rock star attitude. But nah, like I've never been met with like we were talking about that before you got in here. Like there's a lot of good bands around here, man, but like no one has that shitty attitude. At least I haven't met it. Right?
I haven't met it,
but no, my favorite band to play with, dude, honestly, I would say Agency, but I'm just a huge fan of the Boys in Drag. I really like the tunes that they play.
Love
that beat down hardcore. It's kind of like they're heavier than us. They're like scarier than us. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm always like, God damn, like, how do they do it? You know what I mean? Like
they're all like 7 strings and shit. Like
it's just that low fucking dirty ass. Yeah, and on their new EP, man, like it sounded like super good, super clean production. Really sick guys. Shout out to fucking Drag for sure, man. They're really cool guys. But yeah, no, Agency, like as far as like West Virginia band, I mean, like fuck, that's who. That's they run.
They're my favorite band in the world, man.
Yeah, they're the flagship for West Virginia hardcore and underground right now.
Exactly. Dude. But went to play anywhere, it's almost like out of state. It's always like, you guys know the Agency boys? Like, could you get them up here?
But Drag was the only other acceptable answer besides
right.
Whatever in that situation that you just got put in.
Yeah. Nah, I gotta shout out the boys. Those are homies for sure.
I think they're both those bands, Drag and Agency, are from Beckley, aren't they? Both
Drag's from a place called Peterstown. I'm pretty sure it's not. Not far from Beckley, though. I'm pretty sure.
But they claimed Beckley when I met them, so I figured something
probably who would want to claim Peterstown, man.
I would, dude, every time I play.
Dude, there's like on the way to Ripley to where you're from, Spencer. There's a town, like a little township called Penal.
Yeah, it's pronounced. People here pronounce it Penal.
Penal.
But it reads.
Look at put that fancy spin on Penal.
Penal.
Penal, baby.
On the way to Peterstown.
There's a Booger, West Virginia. I'm pretty sure. It's like a Booger. Yeah, I've heard it's like
there's gay.
Yeah, there's gay.
There's gay. There's Pee-wee.
There's one called Blue Hole, West Virginia. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. What's speaking of West Virginia underground music? What's something you'd like to see?
Like someone I haven't saw yet, and I want to see like.
Oh, just something in general, like more music, more bands.
what we were talking about earlier, fucking an all ages venue, which you were saying, Dunbar. That'd be nice. Honestly, I'd just like to see more. I think everyone needs to like unite more. I don't think everyone's like beef or anything like that, but I think if we all like came together and like, I don't know, if I did stuff like this and like shared around playlists and stuff, like not everyone needs to be friends to do stuff like this. Like, let's just uplift each other. Like, hell, it don't even have to be heavy bands, you know. Like, let's just. I'm down. Like, I'm down for more mixed bills. You know, I just want to grow the local scene here. Yeah, and I think the way to do that is for all of us. Like, how can other people have our backs if we don't even have each other's backs? You know. Like,
well, that was the thing too, man. Like, speaking of like not being friends with certain people or whatever, I think like coming back to Dragged, like I think they had one song out at the time, and they had like I just saw live videos of them, and I was like, dude, these guys are fucking cool. I was like, these guys are good. And then they like put a post up about like having merch out, and I was just like, you know, I've never been to a show, never met any of these fuckers in my life. I'm gonna buy a shirt.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I'm always happy when there's a new band. Like always, I don't give a shit what they sound like. It's nice to have like fucking new people in the scene, bringing more heads, because that's all it can do. They got people from their world, and I guarantee have never saw anything like the shit that we do before, and some of them might like it, some of them might hate it, but just getting exposed, just getting all the eyes on us, because that's what we need here. There's a lot of people in this state, but they just don't get out and do shit. They don't want to get out of their house.
Well, that's kind of like where we're at here. Like this whole like podcast or whatever. It's for to try to get people to see we have a lot of fucking cool bands and cool artists and photographers. Like we have a fucking scene here. It's like all the like old heads, people like our age and even like older and shit. They're all like, there's no scene here. The scene's dead. And it's like, no, motherfucker, it's not. You just don't fucking get out and fucking do anything. Yeah. And so we're just kind of trying to prove that it's fucking here, man. You're just like, it's here.
I see it. There's going to be a fucking show, like, or there's always a show, like every weekend. It don't matter. Like, there's always one somewhere around here.
I see it all the time where bands will come through, like Nervous Aggression and stuff like that. We're good friends with them, where they're like, man, fucking West Virginia goes hard for us. Like, and they do. Like, when people go out, like the kids dance, the kids get into it, they fucking buy merch. They're like, everybody wants this to be happening here, but it's not like as cohesive as it could be. And that's what this is supposed to be, the podcast, the AgriFest, all that stuff.
Y'all do a good fucking job at that shit. Like Nuclear Future, like all the guys in that band in general. Because like, I mean, I don't know if you do like the agricidal, like the booking and stuff, or if that was Paul.
That's Paul. But
what I liked about that, man, is like, and we're probably getting off track here a little bit, but I just, I already said I'm a yapper. What I like about that is like, dude, a lot of times he's not even benefiting his own band. He's not even putting his own band on the bill. Yet he's doing his research, finding these out-of-state touring bands that want to come through here, and then he's fucking setting up a show. Like, he's doing fucking basically everything but fucking playing the show, and like, that says a lot about him, man, because like I said, he's doing it, like, not for his band at all. He's just doing it for fucking us to have some cool shit to listen to.
And also, like I was saying, Austin's a big part of the finding the new bands, which is our drummer and his brother. Like, Paul's the dude that gets all of it together and makes sure it happens. And Austin's the guy that's like, hey, a new band just sprouted up in Moundsville or whatever. And like
he's the scout.
Yeah, he's finding all the bands as soon as they start. He's like, yeah, we're going to play a show with them a couple months or something like that, Or we're going to put them on a fucking VHC show or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, like, those two together are really fucking... They make a lot of that shit happen.
They get shit done. I mean, like, they put us on that band Slugs, and I think like what shit? They're like from like Connecticut or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. How you get them down here? You know?
Yeah. All right. So when it comes to playing shows, do you prep like physically or mentally before going into a show? Do you have to do something that helps you like stay on point?
I I'm kind of a fucking kid. I'll drink like a Capri Sun or like Gusher.
I thought you were going to say something similar to that.
Yeah, something real like sugary. And then when I'm up there, I'll usually try to like. Our music's kind of, you know, about like some pissed off shit. You know what? Jason knows all about it. That's all. I just try to think about some of the shit I wrote about and like what wrote the songs and stuff, and I just try to get a little bit angry. I just think that kind of that's part of our performance for me is like to look pissed off and to try to like I don't know, interact with the crowd in the way of like, you know, like this is that real deal shit, you know what I mean? Like we're fucking getting down here. Sorry if you hear my dog barking. But
dude,
no,
mine's doing the same thing.
Try to get pissed. And yeah, we try to have a good time too though. Like it's not serious at all. I mean, like it's serious, but you know what I mean? Like it's not at the same time.
It's a hard it's a hard line. Yeah.
I'm actually like this fucking goofy guy, you know, I'll talk to anybody. But I try to like keep that as my stage presence. It's just like angry and let's fucking go.
And that's hard to do. Like, that's why, like, and it, like, the dichotomy of, or like the line between the juxtaposition of, like, this is really fucking fun. I'm having, like, a great time watching everybody and being up there. And then, like, also these songs are real serious to me or whatever, you know? So, like, that's a hard line because I'm always, like, struggling with it within myself. Like, how serious should I be and how much fun should I just be having with everybody and shit? Like,
I'll watch myself back, man, get secondhand embarrassment sometimes.
Oh, dude, all the time. All the time.
I did not fucking say that.
I was telling him last week. That's why. So I don't talk between songs, man. I just play a song, get some feedback, get our bearings, go into the next song because I'm afraid I'm gonna watch. Why the fuck did I say that, man?
Why did I say that?
You're probably safer to not say anything.
Probably. I kind of live with it though. Like part of the embarrassment is like be like, the fuck did I just say? Is like fun, like because it like gives me this.
It is fun. It is fun.
Yeah,
it's humbling. It's humbling.
But like in the moment, it's real fun. But the looking back is like that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Why? But yeah.
So you think one song that you're jealous you didn't write. It could be a pop song, it could be a rap song, just any song. Like what's one song that you're like, God damn, man, I wish I ever read that or that riff or that, you know.
Like you felt like in your core that was a song that you could have wrote, but it just came out before you could.
Yeah, I was reading the questions. Yeah, this is one I was thinking about a lot. I had a couple different answers. So the dumbass in me wants to say Hot for Teacher, Van Halen, just because man, I just think that's one of the most fun fucking songs. I don't know why. I mean, like, yeah, it's a little what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a little sexist, but man, during that time,
like that's a little fucking sketchy.
It was, yeah, and the kick drum in the beginning, like that to me, like as a kid, I just remember being like, I was never really into percussion or anything, but like hearing that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's actually drums. Like I thought that was a fucking motorcycle, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
The beginning, the kicks, it kind of sounds like a Harley, like fucking Island. No, that and shit. A more serious one, a more non-generic one. Spheres of Madness by Decapitated. I don't know if you guys have heard that song, but it's got one of the coolest fucking guitar riffs, and just the drums on it are absolutely fucking crazy, as all death metal songs are. But the kick pattern, as I've been around drums more, I really have like been getting into percussion, and that song I've always been like, and I'm not a big fan of death metal, but like that's one of the death metal songs I'm like, oh yeah, like that's the shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Sick,
In the
man.
bank.
Do you guys got anything going on here anytime soon? Or you guys taking some time off from the baby? Or
yeah, like I said, we got baby on the way. She's going to be here within probably 3 to 5 weeks.
It's a girl.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Girl dad gang right here, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it, but just really nervous at the same time. But
Dude,
no, we're taking
the same way.
Same way.
You'll be nervous. You will be nervous when they're like teeny tiny because you're like, they're so fucking fragile. Like, what if I drop this thing? You know, but you eventually you're like they're just another person, man. Just hang out with them. Tell them, you know, don't let them do anything stupid. Shit, you know. Try to teach them to be the best person they can, and man, that's all. That's it. Everything else is just kind of.
We're taking a break for baby. They're in Crown Vic, our guitarists. So I think they're going to be busy this summer doing some shit, so they'll be holding people off. No, we actually have something really cool coming up in September. I don't know if I can actually say it for sure yet, but
don't want to say spoiler for the pod.
Yeah, spoiler. Another really cool festival. It'll be up in Wheeling. We got asked to play, so I'm excited for that. It's going to be our first show back, I do believe. But after that, we don't have much planned.
And new daddy on stage.
Yeah, exactly. My girlfriend, she's been to a couple shows. Like she was at AgriFest too, so it's cool. Like my daughter got to hear me, you know, like scream while she just made.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
She's in there.
We don't have much planned outside of that, but we try not to go too far ahead of ourselves. You know, we try to keep it within like 3 months type deal, just not
for
to.
Sure.
It's hard. It's easy to forget about things, and you know how life is. Like you just plan stuff and then forget about it. So we try to keep it on like a 3 month. You know, not go further out than that. No, I'm hoping to do another Ohio run that we did kind of like last winter. I want to do another one. In Ohio, I want to hit Cleveland as well.
Yeah,
we were actually supposed to hit Cleveland when we did the run we did last January, but that kind of got fucked over somehow. But no, I want to do another Ohio show. Dude, the people in Ohio go crazy.
Oh, they go off, man. Yeah.
I mean, I love our scene here, but they're definitely, it's bigger there, you know, a lot more people, but it's a violent crowd. I don't know if you remember it, that laundromat, man. I mean, people at Dirty D's, people were catching bodies.
Yeah, man, that was a fun weekend for sure.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a little more out of state shows. Just kind of spread our name a little bit, get out there.
I think that's what we're doing too. Just because, like, I mean, we're not saying fuck this scene here or anything like that, not whatsoever. But it's like we've already pretty much played everywhere there is to play here.
Yeah, y'all
and there is to play with here. We're just trying to go out now, and everyone around here who's gonna see us or wants to see us has already seen us. Pretty much, you know what I mean?
That's how I feel with Stress Fracture. I feel like in order to get new, not that we're the biggest we're going to be, but I think we're as big as we can get in the local aspect. Like
exactly, yeah.
Everyone saw us, like you were saying, and you go out of state. I mean, that's a chance to get all new heads on you. You know, all new ears.
And that's a problem that I see in local bands is they overdo it in certain areas and certain places. Like every other weekend they're playing Charleston or something like that. It's like you burn out the people that want to see.
We did that, man. We did like 3 Blue Parrot shows in a row, and then we got to the point where like, all right, man, we can't play the fucking Blue Parrot for a couple months at least because Right.
That wears down your core audience because they're like, I've seen them 500 times in the past 2 years. Like,
and people like, well, they're like, all right, man, enough's enough.
Yeah. They're just going to do the same thing they did last time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you can't. We're hardcore bands. You can't create a whole new set just on the fly like that.
No, yeah.
You got anything you want to just throw out there for the end here, and just anything you want to, just anything on your mind you want to tell people, or what? How you feel?
Well, first, thank you guys for fucking having me on. And like I said, I was really excited to do it. Just keep listening to local bands and hardcore rules.
Is there any local bands or West Virginia bands that you want to make a point for people to go see around here? Not saying Stretch Fracture or Ghost Home or Nuclear Future.
Or Drag. We already said Drag.
Or Drag or Agency. We'll cut those. We won't go for generic answer here. A band we played with twice now, and they've always been super fucking cool to us, and they've always sounded fucking massive, cool shit, really cool guys. Scare Tape. I don't know if you guys have heard of Scare Tape, but
my girlfriend actually, she went. I think you guys played it too up in Morgan.
Yeah, she filmed. Yeah, she shot some pictures. Man, those guys with their visual aspect. First of all, they're just really cool. But it's not like it's a gimmick, but it's not gimmicky at all. Like they go up there. I mean, it's pretty. Corny. It's pretty scary. Like they're up there, like it's menacing. I will say it's intimidating. No, those guys are super cool, fucking solid ass musicians. I think they have actually just recorded some stuff, so I'm excited to hear what they have to release. Hopefully, it comes out this year.
Hell yeah, man! Well, appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
You guys
definitely check out Stress Fracture if you haven't already. I'm sure you have if you're watching this. But yeah, man.
You guys ready to jerk off or what?
I'm ready for the circle jerk, man.
Best part for last.
Let's fucking end this podcast.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on.
Yep. Thank you guys. Take care, boys.
We truly don't relate. I can take